It has now been a week since dozens of Texas Democrats left the state intentionally to delay a vote on a proposed map with new congressional boundaries. This proposed map could give Republicans a total of 5 more congressional seats, but without a quorum, of course, there cannot be a vote regarding the map. Well, today the House Speaker said the DPS agents have now been actively looking for Texas House Democrats who may still be in the state, and a tip line was also set up for the effort to call in. Meanwhile, a large number of House Democrats in Chicago continue to stand their ground.
Let me be perfectly clear. Texas Democrats are not running away from any fight. We stand our ground because we know exactly what we're fighting for. And we don't take our marching orders from a man who thinks he's a king.
Democrats called for a vote on legislation centered around the deadly 4th of July flooding before a vote on redistricting. Days after Democrats left, bills related to the flooding were put on the calendar. Meanwhile, Governor Greg Abbott tells CBS News Texas Republicans are considering adding more congressional seats for the GOP now than originally planned. So it's ever evolving. CBS News Texas, the only TV station in this state who interviewed Governor Greg Abbott, and I'll say we did it live this afternoon at 5 o'clock. ION Politics reporter Jack Fink was at the mansion. He's in the Capitol tonight. For those who didn't get a chance to tune in real time, what did the governor have to say today?
Well, Doug, this was actually the first live in-person interview the governor said he has done inside the governor's mansion. And with regards to the congressional maps, we know already that Democrats have been very upset that Republicans drew 5 proposed new seats at the Democrats' expense. But the governor confirmed for me during our live interview of what Republican lawmakers told me, and that is there have been active conversations about adding 3 more seats for Republicans on top of that.
We're looking at a lot of different alternatives. In part, it could be to make sure that we do have fairness. If you compare Texas to California or Illinois or New York or Massachusetts, those states are truly gerrymandered. And they have hardly any Republican representation in Congress whatsoever.
Well, so is Texas. Right?
Well, no. There's a higher percentage of Democrats in Texas than there are in the congressional delegation than there are Republicans in California, Illinois, New York, or Massachusetts. And so if Texas were to draw its maps the way that these Democrat states have drawn their maps, it could mean as many as maybe even 10-seat pickup. So, Jack, what we're doing, we're looking at all options, but the thing that's needed is for people to show up, these members of the Democrat caucus. They can't just leave their job. They're required by the Texas Constitution to actually show up and cast votes on bills. That's what the Constitution requires.
Now, under the existing maps right now, Democrats still serve in 2 of the 3 South Texas congressional seats. Under the newly drawn map, those 2 South Texas seats held by Democrats would become Republican majority. And their others, Democrat seats, would become Republican majority as well. No word just yet exactly where Republicans would carve out 3 extra congressional seats. I also asked the governor about the lawsuit he filed at the Texas Supreme Court to remove House Democratic Caucus Chair Gene Wu. He's a Democratic state representative from Houston. 4 years ago, the state's highest court issued an opinion saying the Texas Constitution enables lawmakers to break quorum. And I asked the governor why that isn't an adequate defense for Democrats who left the state.
In the Supreme Court opinion you were talking about, a very carefully chosen word, it enables quorum breaking, but doesn't authorize it. Let me give you an easy example, and that is an interstate highway enables you to go 100 miles per hour, but doesn't authorize it. It's against the law. Same thing here. Even though the Constitution enables Democrats to break quorum, the Constitution does not authorize them to do this. In fact, the Constitution does the exact opposite. It requires them to show up and cast votes on bills.
And so, but it doesn't ban it. Does the Constitution need to be changed to make it more explicit, or do you think that this lawsuit, if the Supreme Court rules your way, will handle that?
If the Supreme Court rules in favor of the lawsuit that I filed, it will end quorum breaking.
Now, Democrats have said they are not going to come back for the rest of the special session, which is scheduled to end Tuesday, August 19th. And I asked the governor at the end after our interview, because we only had so much time, but I asked him if on August 19th he's going to have the second special session start right then and there, and he told me yes. Doug?
Okay, Jack, thanks. Some clarity from the governor's office today. We thank you very much. And be sure to stay with CBS News Texas throughout this entire redistricting showdown. It changes by the minute sometimes. We always have the latest developments as they unfold on air. And if we're not on the air, we are online instantly. And you'll find us at cbsnewstexas.com.